Last season, the DePauw University Tigers won 6 of their 10 contests, but closed the season by giving up the Monon Bell. This year, with only 4 victories pushing them forward, the Tigers once again challenge conference champions Wabash College, hoping the bell will change hands one more time. At 83 years old, DePauw University boasted a campus worth more than $1 million and an endowment of over $2.5 million. In 1919, DePauw saw the first Rector Scholars on campus, students could pick up the first issue of the DePauw magazine, and women returned to their sororities to find a new face, their house mother. 1919 marked the last year that tuition would be less than $100. Students that year were expected to pay $75 for the DePauw experience. President George R. Gross announced plans for a new athletic stadium made possible by a $25,000 gift from Mr. and Mrs. Ira Blackstock. And that year, DePauw University and Wabash College tied on the gridiron with a final score of 0-0. The war in Europe was at an end, but a far older conflict was still underway.
Shortly after the close of the Civil War in the United States, students from Asbury College in Greencastle, Indiana, traveled to Wabash College to begin a contest that would continue to last over 1 1/4 centuries and go on to become touted as the oldest sports rivalry west of the Alleghenies. Wabash won that game 45-32, but the competition was far from over. Over the next 60 years, both schools developed and expanded their athletic programs to deal with changing competitors and new regulations. Each year, the two teams made certain their paths would cross regardless of the sport. On the football field, however, was where the competition was shown most severely. Year after year, these two teams would clash, and the ring got louder and louder. People soon began to take notice.
In 1932, the Indianapolis Railroad Company, whose Monon train line serviced the Greencastle and Crawfordsville areas, donated one of its locomotive bells as a trophy for the winner of the annual football game. That year, the game ended in a scoreless tie. DePauw's head coach, a former Wabash student, Raymond Gaumy Neal, returned the next year with an undefeated squad to take home the Monon Bell for the first time as winners. Wabash, however, was not to be outdone, and the following year handed DePauw a 7-6 defeat to take the bell home for themselves. Wabash kept the bell until November 13, 1937, when DePauw students flocked to Crawfordsville to witness Wabash's worst defeat since 1901. The Tigers delivered for 32 points while not allowing a single Wabash point on the board. This began the epic quest by both schools to win and retain the Monon Bell. Throughout the next decade, the bell changed homes more than 6 times, with no school keeping it longer than 2 years. Beginning in 1949, however, it looked as if the bell had found its permanent home. In 1949, Wabash College delivered DePauw a 25-21 defeat to take the bell home for what appeared to be just another exchange of the bell. Wabash, however, was determined to keep the bell and did so over the next 6 years. With 3 shutouts in the middle 1950s, it appeared that the Monon Bell was soon to become a permanent attraction in Crawfordsville.
After having struggled throughout the game, DePauw and Wabash were deadlocked at a 20-20 tie, and it looked as if Wabash would walk away with the bell one more time. With only seconds remaining, DePauw fullback Freddie Williams lined up to attempt a field goal, something he'd never tried before. As the game came to an end, Williams kicked the ball 19 yards for the 3 needed points to bring the Monon Bell back to Greencastle, where it stayed for the next 10 years, the longest continuous possession by either school.